Greetings, everyone. I'm going to invite you to join me, if you choose, in a beautiful chant of Aham Prema. If you are not confident in your voice, you are welcome to just sit and receive this beautiful mantra. But if you do feel so called to pair your spirit and your body and chant this along with me, this is a chant that means in Sanskrit, I am divine love. A very pertinent chant, I believe, for this particular time, to remember what it is we are. And whenever we use our voices, we always want to make sure that the vowel is good and clear, because the vowel is what moves the frequency of whatever we are communicating. So in this particular mantra, we have an A, a hum, and a Prema. Aham Prema. And this mantra opens up our universality and surrenders us to the heart, where we will state this truth of what it is we really all are at the bedrock of our being. So if you feel to, place your hand on your heart and take a nice deep breath into your body, allowing your belly to release and open. And this is how we pull our spirit deep into our body. And as we move our voice, we always want to make sure we're moving our voice from this deep place within our body. Our voice is very powerful, but not from the throat and head. Our voice's power is when Shakti from below is paired with Shiva from above. So let us try this together with a nice deep breath and an open throat and a relaxed jaw. Sound moving through the heart. Aham Prema. Aham Prema. Feeling the wave of sound moving through the chest and returning back into the chest as the note goes higher and the note returns back to its base. Feel how this mantra moves through the body. Aham Prema. Aham Prema. yourself at your heart center as you take that deep breath into your belly and feel the connection between your gut, your heart, and your head, unifying this beautiful intelligence and remembering, I am divine love. I am worthy of divine love. I am offering divine love to the world. Namaste.
Hi there. Welcome to another presentation of the Globe Sound Healing Conference. Now we have Marin Azoff. Hi, Marin.
Hi, great to be
Well,
here.
welcome. So Marin's an internationally recognized facilitator of transformation, classically trained singer, and lifetime student of various lineages, wisdoms, and practices. She merges 8,000-year-old modalities and vocal techniques that modern science is only just beginning to understand. In the process of healing a severely broken neck and retraining herself to open a locked jaw to use her own voice again, Marin's vocal transformation method emerged alongside her life's mission to awaken the vocal capacity of the human race. What have you been up to lately?
Just that, awakening the vocal capacity of the human race. Just a small
Well,
mission.
yeah. Okay, if you had all the money, how would you do it?
Well, I don't think I need money to do the thing, but I do need access to all the humans who feel anywhere in their life that they want to get back in alignment with who they really are and their power, knowing that the love within their being is what will heal this planet, and that sits right at the largest resonator of the voice. I would just really love to have, what is it? It's at least a million, but I think critical mass at this point is like 8 million. I would love to get critical mass to be doing a chanting practice with me that will help to stabilize a frequency on this planet, that will help everything begin to regenerate.
I know how to do it, how you could do it.
How?
We got $100,000 grant to take our entire curriculum into two Montessori schools. We've now created 2,500 exercises for kids from 3 months all the way up to 18 years, and we're getting massive, all the funding we ever need to create schools throughout the world and track it and bring it into the governments. The kids, when the kids learn how to express themselves,
Exactly, the children.
then it's a done deal. Now you've accessed everybody, and that spreads out like crazy. It's really the way to change the world.
It is. The book that I'm in the process of writing, maybe I shouldn't even say this out loud, is called No Inner Child Left Behind.
Oh
And
my God. Oh my God.
it's the idea that yes, if we could get them before we have to reverse anything, but we could actually build them in a way to know what they are as an
Right.
instrument, yes, we would see a huge shift in this
Oh, you
planet.
got to see the video with the kid, 3 to 6 year olds. We have one little kid, Krissa, 4 years old. She says, "Can we do the sound of love?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "Ooh." And then, like, I've been teaching for the Shift Network for years, and Chris's mom was in the Shift Network class, and with 500 other students, right? And I'm like, they're all still, all 500 adults scared to death to make sound. And there's Chrissa in the class with them. And
Hmm.
I'm like, Chris, she's a graduate now, right? I'm like, Chrissa, you want to lead these 500 adults with the sound of love? And she's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
She's like, ooh. I,
Yeah, it's
oh my
true.
God. Oh my God.
It is the children, but as far as parenting goes, to help our children actually be able to maintain that, the parents have to be just as confident. The parents, I will say this, we have larger resonators. So if you actually could, the key is to remember the crying baby that we all were. reclaim all of that musculature and all of that sound resonance. And then if you look at us as infants to now, how much more sound we allowed ourselves to make then, and now we keep it all in. If we could unlock that crying infant, and I don't mean scream, it's controlled, but it's this idea that if we could actually get that resonance moving from our vessel, we all know everything connects. And I got a vision many years ago of what that means for the regeneration of the soil and for the regeneration of the trees and for the ozone layer. And I saw a very clear vision of what potential that actually has. And I don't think that the human race understands what we are capable of with our voice.
I got a vision of it exactly, and I came up with a movie idea to do it, to show people.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So the problem is here, the whole problem is like at one or two, the parents go, shh,
Right.
shh, shh. And then you go to school and there's no more sound.
Exactly.
You go to work, there's no more, except around here, right? And we lose that God-given ability that we had down as babies. We had with zero thought as to whether you were doing it right when you go, ah.
And you are doing it right. It starts with, I say this all the time, the pacifier. The pacifier that when we put it in there to suck, right, tightens the back of the tongue and closes off the throat. So then as you start to continue to either be pacified or silenced or given something to suck on or do to like not make the sound you're going to make, your tongue gets taught to hold. And so then when you go to express, according to the musculature of the body as an instrument, your second chakra, so your lower half of your rectus abdominis and your obliques, are directly connected to how your throat functions. When your tongue gets tight, it begins to also tighten sacral. Why? Because you were trying to express emotions, express energy that needed to move, and that all moves from the lower part of the body. But when that's all coming up and out, and then you're told, hold it in, we're taught to suck in, to literally hold our bodies. And all these muscles are necessary to get sound to move through the entire vessel. So the voice then just becomes a small little pathway, a tight little throat, and a little bit of sound that's allowed out when we let it. But our original instinct, and the oldest instinct that a human has, the first thing we do after we pull our spirit into our body with our first breath, the majority of us have the first reaction to be to let sound out. Because when we let that sound out, we wake up the innate intelligence of the body. But if we don't let the sound out, yeah, we're still going to survive. We're still going to move. But this thing isn't activated the way it would be if we let our voices fully fly.
It's emotional blockage.
It's
And
emotional.
emotional blockages create physical blockages, which is disease. And that's where most of it comes from, right there. Right?
Right there.
Okay, so in this movie, they discover, you love this, they discover how every emotion, negative emotion, create diseases precisely.
Yes.
And then, so everybody gets a monitor and they, to check their emotions. And it's like a little AI monitor. It goes, oh, you said, oh, that sucks what you did. And it's like, oh, you just got 30% towards liver cancer.
Whoa.
Right? And so everybody becomes really aware. And then they
Mhm.
learn that the number one thing is vocal expression to actually
Exactly.
let it out. And
Exactly.
so society completely changes over time. All the kids are allowed to keep making sound. If you have to, go in the bathroom, go in another room, but don't stop. In school, they're making sound from the beginning of how they feel. They're making it throughout the day at different times. So now nobody gets shut down by society, and everybody's way healthier.
And I always say that people are so afraid of this because they think that, like, when they walk into a store and you don't have the right size or something, you're going to be like, I hate you! But that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is balance. You're going to be able to express when you need to, and you're also going to be able to be very peaceful and not expressing when you don't have to. And the reason why we get so pent up is because we're holding on to so much unmoved energy.
I think outside will be a little louder, noisier.
Yeah, maybe we'll see more. Like the people that we would call quote unquote crazy now will have a lot of humans out there
Right,
talking out loud to themselves.
right, right. Of course, it'll be funny because as you're driving, everybody will be like, ah, all right. Woo. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
But
Oh my
it's true.
God.
Like we know as babies that all we have to do is cry and get over it. And a lot of my teachings talk about like the age of development of when that actually stops. So when we get quieted, punished, pacified, all of those things, the muscles that begin to protect and tighten, and the strategizer of ego that has to decide what is the right thing to say, how is this person going to receive what I have to say so that I will maintain safety or just be accepted. And this is a survival instinct, right? So this is a big part of what we are. But if we were allowed to really move it out, we would not hold resentment, we would not hold grudges, we would not have old stories playing inside of us anymore. We would get it off of our chest. We would get it out of our system. We would have resonance. We'd be harmonic, right? And so, in the moment, if you're harmonic, you create harmony everywhere you go. But if in the moment you're dissonant, you're creating dissonance everywhere you go, whether that person has anything to do with the story you're carrying around or not.
It is tricky because you have to take into consideration the other person's sensitivity and feelings. You can't just blast it out because they can it can be a puddle, right? So it is tricky to be able to actually express yourself. But a lot of people, especially women, here's the problem, as you know, women have been, their throat chakras have been squashed by men for tens of thousands of
Right.
years. In
Which
fact,
is why
not,
women have thyroid issues that men don't
uh,
have.
and it's not just in the past. Now, in some countries, it's like ridiculous. It's still Saudi Arabia. It's a,
They made it illegal for women to speak in public, to use their voice outside.
yeah, but in the U.S., it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
And
censorship through
yeah,
the roof.
right.
Yeah.
And then men don't know how to speak in a balanced way. I didn't have a mentor. My dad was a freaking mess.
Yeah. Most dads. Oh,
Right,
love the
right,
men.
right. So, oh my God,
It's
oh
because
my
men
God.
are emotionally corseted. Women were physically corseted, men are emotionally corseted. And they're taught not to express feelings, but instead to have control over their feelings and be the logical. Right? So the top half of a man is more activated than a bottom half unless they have other urges going on. But typically it's the top half, and that's Shiva, right? It's just the way the whole system is set up, and then Shakti is the bottom. So women, we're more comfortable in our emotions, we're more easeful in knowing how to move them, and men go into moods. This is a whole
Although
other conversation.
I've taught many women how to actually feel and cry, not in a bad way.
All right. Thank you.
Right. It's interesting because I always point out, I mean, I'm like a crybaby. I look for sad movies
Mhm.
because I mean, it's the best thing ever to be able to cry. There's
Mhm.
no better feeling. It's such a release. It's the best, right? And so I started thinking, I started asking people, and because I've talked about this, about a lot of people are scared to cry, especially if you've been in the military, you don't cry, right? And there's, but I never asked people how many of you cry and don't. And I just started in the last month or two. And the class I just asked, it was like about 25% never cry.
Yep.
I don't know how that averages out, but I think there's so many people that are scared to cry.
So
They
many
feel like it
people.
will lead to depression.
And weakness, it's some form of weakness. Like the walls come down, and then you're vulnerable, and then you're weak. And men have been taught to see crying as a form of weakness. But I'm a very blessed woman. My father, I'll never forget the first time I saw him cry to a movie, very young. And I was scared because I saw my dad crying. You know, kids want their dad to be in charge of things. And he looked at me and said, Marin, men have the same feelings women have. We all cry, and this is what a man can do. And I remember then feeling so safe around men who are emotional.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
like he trained me so well. But wait, I have something to say to what you last said. I think that there is one feeling better than crying. Well, not singing.
Oh.
So singing is I would ask those men the same question. I would say, how many of you cry and don't cry? And if those of you who don't cry, do you sing? Because singing is a way to transmute or transform all of the emotions that are inside of our being and to move them out on a different waveform than a water form, right? It's a sound form. But it's the same idea. If you're crying tears, you cannot sing. You cannot sing and cry at the same time. It's an incredible phenomenon because the emotions that are being released are moving through water. But if you can get your diaphragm underneath that movement and you can send your sound through where those emotions that want to release through your eyes, if you could send them out through your mouth and through the resonators of your body that are holding that emotion, that's when a great singer is born. It's when someone knows how to move that energy through sound, through ether, and through waveform instead of through water. And that is how you feel way bigger than your body. So when you cry tears, you're like dripping out the feeling. But when you sing the feeling, you now expand your being way larger than your body, and you actually feel like a god.
How do you do it?
How do I do what?
Release it like exactly like you said. Well, how would you show? Because the biggest problem is those people that have said, "Oh, you can't sing, huh? You're not good." I always tell people,
Oh,
go
yeah.
track them down and kick them in the knee.
If I could have a room full of every teacher that ever told a child that they shouldn't sing, a chorus teacher or a voice teacher, I mean like thousands of students now, right? How many times I've heard that someone professionally paid to get children to like music told them that they can't sing. Or a mom or a dad, yeah, they exist too. But
It
I
won't be
would
against the law in the future.
it has to be because everyone can do it. It's muscle. It's muscle and it's resonators and it's breath. And everyone can be trained to do it. And if you think you have no tonality, you have a problem hearing pitch, it's because we're listening to music through the ears and we're not breathing and actually receiving it at a body level. If we could get out of our heads around our musicality, whether we're good enough or not, and we could actually feel the resonance and then imitate the feeling and return it back, you'll find that you can actually sing. Everyone can do it.
And perfectly in pitch. When you actually completely let go and let the energy come through, the pitch perfectly comes out on its own.
Because it requires the resonators. So the body is made up of muscles of the perineum, the obliques, the rectus abdominis. This is how I teach the basics of the human voice as an instrument. And these three muscles are supporting the diaphragm's return, right? So you breathe the diaphragm down, you engage these muscles, and then it sends this sound through the body. It supports the air. The vocal cords make a beautiful pitch depending on what we're thinking. And then through the resonator, so through the center, our solar plexus, through our heart, our cheeks, our nose, our forehead, our crown, all around in 360 degrees too, not just coming out of the front of your body. It's like moving out of your entire being, which is why the baby cry, right, was, ah, 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 ah. That's how we cry as a baby, right? And that sound is all of these muscles bracing. So we're not sucking in and we're not controlling the diaphragm and we're certainly not breathing. Classical training taught me to breathe with the side of my rib cage and to like bring my ribs out wide. And that creates a beautiful like bellow sound. That's classical, but that is not the voice I'm talking about. So when we get our diaphragm down into the body, the belly comes out, the waist comes out, and the perineum drops. If we can breathe the diaphragm down correctly, you'll feel the pressure in the whole low body. This is the first block of most of us. Most of us can't even get our diaphragm to do this because something traumatized us or shocked us, maybe a teacher saying, you know, you don't have a good enough voice and your dreams being dashed and your little body going, and once you had that happen, your diaphragm locks in place. So then when you breathe up into your upper shoulders instead of breathing down and all the way into this thing, right? But once you breathe that diaphragm down, you have all of this muscle. And then that muscle actually has to bear and get sound to move through. So if I take my hands and place them on my waist, I'm going to use this as an example, you can join me, yes. If we breathe the diaphragm down, you'll feel the waist go wide. You can actually see it on my body very clearly, right? While that waist goes wide, the belly also comes out and the root drops down. Now, that might not be everyone's conversation if you're trying this at home, because there are certain coping mechanisms and holdings that we've developed over time, and that's where the pacifier and the editor has done its physical work down below. Okay, but if you can get down there and really get a bottom, and you then take your waist and instead of feeling you're sucking in, press wider even and become the tree trunk, right? Like boom, here I am. I am now locked in, right? From there, your throat actually opens. So if we're in that position right now and we suck our stomach all the way in and we take everything back, you'll feel your throat collapse. That's what holding back emotion does. But if you breathe that diaphragm down and take a strong bottom and then brace even wider, you'll feel your throat open wide with it. Now that sound is ah! It's total freedom. My throat is not involved in that at all. My chest is resonating like crazy. My solar plexus has all this sound. I'm free as free could be, like sound everywhere. Nothing holding it back because it's all moving from the bottom. But if I suck that in, I have no opening, right? So it's all about that first cry, what I was talking about before, and then how we were told to instead control the voice differently when we don't have to control the voice at all. Now, I have worked with other classical people in this, and they would tell me that I'm crazy, that I'm wrong, no, there's a certain way the larynx has to move and all that. But I can make classical sound, rock and roll, R&B, hip hop, country. I could do every genre from this position. I don't have to manipulate anything except for which resonator I'm sending my tone to, which is how the voice works. Depending on where the range has to come from, you need to send it through those resonators. And the higher the range you have to hit, the more muscle you need down here to get it all the way through the instrument, because you cannot cut any piece of this instrument out. So here's how, that was singing, but here's how the vocal transformation work that I do, which is more about chanting. Like when you said people would be walking around screaming and doing all those things, there is a very ancient and very simple and beautiful way for all of us to get harmonic if we would just take the time to do it. And it's chanting. And it's a stabilized sound. Doesn't have to be too loud, can't be too quiet. It's a stabilized sound frequency that you move through your entire body, one layer of muscle, one resonator at a time. And as you do that, every one of these chakras, as they would call it in all the ancient teachings, right? Energy centers, they're all a group of nerve ganglion that are clustered at each of these points. So a chakra in Sanskrit means an energy wheel or a wheel of energy. And what it actually means is you get a frequency point in each of these bodies where you have nerve plexuses that feed into all the corresponding information of that area of the body. So you have nerve ganglion and pathways that feed into each of these areas. And when you start to send sound directly into that plexus, it begins to re-engage the full conversation of that area of the body. Just as we did when we were babies crying, as an adult, we don't have to scream, and that creates stress. We don't want to scream. We just want to be heard at a nice normal volume and be calm and centered and harmonized. We don't need to have all these extremes. Humanity is so extreme right now. We just want to bring it back into a good harmonic frequency within and then share that with the world around us.
Even just any vowel. Just vowels are stable, consistent. I learned a
Yes.
long time ago, I used to have panic attacks, and I did a scan of each chakra one by one and found its note for myself. Oh, right? And did each note. And I can even do it silently. And the panic attack would go away 100%. I'd be blissed out. I got rid
Absolutely.
of my Xanax, and it changed my life drastically. To really be in tune with whether a chakra is humming or stagnant, and then tone to it. It's just so simple.
It's
It's so effective.
it I have seen people over the past 15 years I've been teaching, I have seen people heal serious diseases in this process. I've seen relationships in people's lives completely change. I've seen financial aspects change. I've seen like everything physical that we can experience is all vibrational. And I know it sounds, we know this in quantum mechanics and all of that, but to say it's as simple, the joke I think that was played on humanity is that the key to our manifesting whatever we desire has been hiding under our nose this entire time. And a whole world outside told us to judge it and to keep it and to like, to be very precious about this in a way that is more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more incriminating of ourselves than it is of freeing of ourselves. So we are really trying, right now my work is to let people just make sound. I don't even care. You think you're a singer, you think you're whatever. Like I just help to take people where does that emotion live in your body? What does that emotion sound like? Just express it because you haven't been allowed to. So here's a room. We're all in it together. What is that anger? Go ahead, like, let's hear anger. And then let's give it a tone. And I know you probably have so much to share in this department of like how these frequencies work and what effect they have on the cells of the body. And I don't go that deep in the science, but after meeting you, I'm going to.
Oh no,
And
just find it intuitively. That's the whole deal. I mean, there's really when you tune in, it's basically the way of the shaman. It's like
exactly.
being more and more still until you can hear exactly the sound for anything, at least for your own body.
Yeah. And when we're an embodied species, we have the power of God here on earth. We do anyway. We're doing what we're doing anyway. But when we have a full embodiment, when we can listen deeply inside, right? The insight that we're all seeking. So these practices of mantras, which is only one part of the work I do, but these basic practices of mantras, manos is mind, tra is liberation from or protection from. And what it does is it temporarily focuses your mind on a task that is very simple, and then it helps your brain waves reach a state where neuroplasticity can occur, and then it opens up each of these areas and allows it to release what it needs to release, wake up what's sitting there dormant, and get you back into your best intelligence, like back into what it is you truly are. And yes, these mantras have been used religiously. They've been taken into different cultures in certain ways, but all the way at the back, and I mean this with no disrespect because I adore all of those cultures, but all the way back to the beginning is that it's sound. It's sound. And if we go to the original languages of the earth, like I even go to Egypt. Egyptians have vowel sounds that they work the same way I would work a bija mantra, like I work lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, om, right, is a basic practice. In Egypt, they would do this just with the vowel, and the vowel holds the Shakti. It holds the frequency that makes physical world happen. And the consonant creates the structure that points that frequency towards how we're going to use it to create what the concept is or the idea is around it. But the vowel itself is what really does the work. And then the thought, and yes, we know thoughts do everything, thoughts create everything, mentalism. But that word, as we say it, the vowel is very important. So for all vocalists who are listening to this call, we honor the vowel. That's all. Focus on the vowel. Because the vowel is where all of the Shakti and how it moves through the body, which then creates it. And I hear it all the time. We're very collapsed. So in ancient Egypt, it's the 7. A, E, I, O, U, O. From alpha to omega. And the practice of the priestesses was that the women would stand in these pyramids, conductors of great amounts of energy, and they would move this sound through their being with no consonants. And then somebody who would be in that pyramid would actually get their chakras or their energy centers harmonized. Whatever is overactive would normalize, whatever's underactive will wake up, and dis-ease would be removed from their vessel. Their tuning fork, right? It's like that's how we work. And then from there, we have consonants to direct sound to certain parts of the body. So if we were to fast forward that to the practice of the bijas, we have the consonant l, aum, v, aum, r, aum, yi, aum, aum, right? And each of those things, the consonant directs where the muscle is going to conduct that sound. And that's how it heals all through the body. It's all muscles. And so language is born of that. It's how we use our consonants and how we use our vowels. And then we create certain resonance, different patterns that move out into the world and create the world. We're doing it all day, every day.
I had a woman from Tibet that showed up here, and she said that they had mapped out all the different vowels for all the different organs, which is a harmonic structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said that your voice takes on the vowel of the weakest organ when you're born.
Really?
She said that, for the kidneys, that's around about fear, right? That's
Right.
where fear is stored. So if you have a weak kidneys when you're born, it's like your voice is like, hi, hi, how are you? Right? Whereas if the liver's around anger, if the liver's a problem, then I don't, maybe you don't get angry, right? Hi,
Mm-hmm.
hi, right? Right?
Wow.
So that was really,
Incredible.
it's interesting I love this, that you're actually not just doing the vowels, but using the consonants to direct it to where the vowel is going to do its work.
Well, do you want to feel it? Do you want to feel what this
Yep.
actually does? Because it's this simple. So when I was talking about being pacified early in life, your tongue is the sword of creation. And what moves through the throat chakra, which is the ether element, past the tongue and out into the world, you'll be delivering your light out through the sound wave that moves through the air, the fire, the water, the earth, like all the elements of what we are. And now we are creating the world around us, right? We physically manifest with our words. They call it spelling. I heard Bruce Lee say this a number of years back, and I was like, yeah, Bruce got it, right? We're casting spells. And it's magic, but I don't want to sound too woo-woo because it's mechanics. It's how this world works. It's brilliant. So with that, the tip of the tongue connects all the way down to the root of the body. So we have a connector from the earth, from our root into the planet, that will move Shakti up through and out, all the way out to our tongue. The element in the head is space. So this is the container that we need to create inside of our head that will then, like, I would say this is what I was saying, was the consonant versus the vowel. The head is how much room inside of this space, inside of this vessel, can you keep for what you want to manifest to actually happen? But you need to get the body underneath you to actually make it happen, right? We know this on like a logical sense. You have to do something to make something happen. You can't just think it into existence. But you do have to think it and do something. Like, it's all of the above. So if you hit that L to the back of your teeth, up into where the top of the mouth hits the very top of the teeth, that little crevice there where they meet, and you breathe your diaphragm down like we did before, as deep into your body as you can, and then hit a strong L. L, 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 L. Can you feel the root of your body hit the earth?
Yeah.
So the tip of your tongue connects by muscle and fascia all the way down to the bottom. So now if we were to take that and go la, and you actually press your root down and then feel the root, right? You'll feel it drop. Keep it there. Keep the root pressed and just drop the jaw open and see what that feels like. Let's try it together. Breathe in all the way down. Strong L. La. If you can keep that root dropped in, you now have the full channel to make sound with.
Wow.
If you do the second, let's just try one more. The second chakra is Vaum. That's the sound, right? So if you take your hands and you put it right underneath your belly button, right at your low half of your rectus abdominis and your sacral, and you breathe your breath there, and then hit a strong V, You're going to feel that sacral pop open. If you feel it pop, like sucking in, then that is a sign that you suck in, right? And God, we have a whole world of humans that have been taught to suck in and be fit and thin and hot and all that, right? So we have a whole world of people that are closed at their throat because they're holding back. But all you have to do is hit a strong V and the whole thing opens. Your second chakra is your house of creativity. Once that thing opens, you have Kundalini for days that's ready to go into creating great music, great art, great relationships, beautiful orgasms, whatever it is you're looking for. It's all right there, available with a V. It's wild.
Nice. Oh my God. This is, so I wrote the number one selling books in the world in audio recording and producing, and as well as the sound healing book, the number one book. And so I'm really particular about pitch. And so and I can hear when I'm off pitch. So I've been on a journey, because I do sound baths all the time, that just how high can I get?
Mm-hmm.
So I call in higher beings and such to really just take me into another dimension where I don't think about pitch and it happens
Mm-hmm.
perfectly, right? But this
Beautiful.
is really cool. Now you're opening up a whole different area of connecting to the body as opposed to bringing in higher beings. And I can do both, right? And I love this because it's now I'm not in my head thinking about pitch. I'm going, oh.
Wait, what about the fact that we're hitting something here really important? The highest note of your body exists in the lowest part of your body.
Oh, tell me more about that.
I mean, I can keep going, but I think I'm going to break the computer. But when I do a note like that, I only feel my root and a
Wow.
buzzing at the crown of my
Wow.
head.
Wow.
So I could feel the note, like I could feel the electrical current through my whole system. But my root is where my focus is, which won't tighten my throat. If my root is where my focus is, the throat drops open, and now you're bracing, and the sound's just shooting out of your body.
Okay. So let's take this to the next level because you are a next level person, right? I've found out. So I get the sense from talking to you earlier that you now have the whole structure of how to heal everything in the body from working with different medicines and such. I've learned a good amount. I've about 7 years ago, the Hathors came in
Oof.
and they
Ooh.
said they wanted to create a super highway between my pituitary and pineal gland, the caves of Brahma, right? And open it up. And they've been working on it for 7 years. And now I got an octave lower in my voice. Oh, right. So there's this, but it's like really, it sounds like you're getting a sense as to how the whole emotional body works with sound to clear all different types of things.
Yes.
Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me.
So the framework. Okay, so it varies person to person. To what you were saying before about what that Zen woman was saying about how like your child's voice goes to where weaknesses are. I typically can hear when I'm speaking with somebody where their voice doesn't go, and that will show me where they either protect themselves or some trauma that might have existed, something that either shut down or maybe even as a soul contract karmically is here to awaken that like came in not open, right? So there's no right or wrong and there's none of that, but you can actually get into each of these pockets and open up sound that can move through the entire thing. And so I'm not all disease is even in the body. Some of it is in the auric layers, right? So that's why we need a voice that projects. because we need to be able to create resonance that moves through our fields as well and not just like inside. And then we have to know how to work with somebody to what they're coming in. So whenever we're dealing with disease, my first lens is the chakra teachings and the ages where our body develops and what emotions and energies show up in all of these different times. And I will tell you, as I said, it's 20 years doing this work, but it's 15 years doing it like professionally. I will tell you that it has never failed. I've never seen somebody who comes in with breast cancer that doesn't have a maternal love lineage issue. I've never seen somebody who comes in with Crohn's disease or with some kind of that it has to do with their sense of self in the world and their confidence levels and their ability to process their anger, because this is your fire, right? I've never seen someone who comes in with ovarian problems or comes in with infertility issues that we're not talking about something relational that either has to do with their father, because the dad is here in second chakra, or some level of emotional abuse that occurred somewhere in their life, right? And so there is a whole map that has been laid out through the Vedic lineages, through the Egyptian lineages, probably going all the way back to Africa. You could probably get this deep in there. I haven't done as much deep work there, but I would say that the knowledge that all of our indigenous cultures have had. You see these guys behind me, like the Tibetan beauties here. All the mantras and all of these lineages that have been relegated to esoteric and religious teachings. If you go in, you can see they have an understanding of how the body, the mind, and the emotional development of a person occurs. And then you can work the voice to open whatever is stored out of the tissues and to reset the whole system.
Okay.
Even epigenetics. So the science, which I'm sure you know this too already, but the science around the epigene, which is 0.01% of what makes up our genetic code. And it's the protein sheath that wraps around the code that tells us how we represent, whether we have blonde hair, brown hair, whether we're light colored or dark colored, whatever it is, right? The science around it shows that stress will express the epigene as it was given to us, where if we could inhibit the production of cortisol and ephedrine and all of these, and adrenaline, the stress hormones, if we can actually decrease those and increase more of the bliss hormone, we actually can get access to what's in the 99.99% of the rest of the gene and get it to express itself, and we can actually transform and change our family's histories. So I don't have a single person that comes to me that says, I have the gene for a cancer, or I have a this for the cancer. I don't have a single person that I'm like, yeah, go to a doctor. I will hands down say, first we're doing this. And when we get your voice in your body and your nervous system calm, because that's what using the voice does, it relaxes the vagus nerve and opens up your nervous system. Once we get this calm and we get you regulated and we start to see if you can not, go into those stressors, you start to see how the body heals. It just starts to change.
So you want to look at me
Look at you what?
and see where my blockages are.
Oh, I don't want to do that. You want to do that?
Okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's okay. That's okay. Okay.
But no, I can tell you this. I can tell you that what I did before with that deep breath, that's the first place that I would look, because if you're calling in the higher beings, you certainly need to open this entire arena of sound. And what I would love to work with you on is that sound of love that you create becoming a wider channel to really feel it like move through the whole system.
Okay. How about this? Can you do sound of universal love for us?
Well, me personally,
Oh yeah.
I don't know that you have the sound. Okay.
Oh, I can do it. We got a little problem with my mic, but I can do it with you.
Okay,
Okay.
so you give me the sound
Okay.
of universal love.
Okay, let me say that. So when I ask people if they've experienced universal love, only about 30% even know what it is, unless more like 10% can actually access it at will. Right. So there's different ways that people bring it in. I mean, one psychic said it comes in through the thymus down into the heart. And then a lot of people get it through the crown through the pineal, and because I think universal love is mostly pineal and pituitary, so it comes down and even down the spine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so my way, and it's really amazing that you're saying this because in the class I taught before getting in here,
okay.
aham prema is the mantra of I am divine universal love, right? And hum is the sound that opens the throat and drops you into your heart. So what you're saying as far as coming down in, ah is universal. Ah opens up the entirety of the universe. Then you would drop that through the throat, not in the throat, but through the throat into the heart. So you'd go, ah, hum. The H has to be very impactful because is what actually opens this instead of controls anything and then drops you down. And then from there you would say prema. The R is here, which is your solar plexus, and then you would open that up to hit ma, which connects root to heart, right? So the sound would be aham prema. And that would be over a chant, the feeling of universal love. And I chant it quite regularly so that I can live in that frequency. Aham prema. But it's here in the center. So go ahead and tell me where your sound of universal love is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, after that, it's like, it's really funny because I was talking to a psychic that I trust somewhat, last year, and she said there's a sacred geometry triangles between exactly what you said. She said that one of them goes from the thymus, but also into the spleen, and then down to the root. There's a sacred geometry structure of exactly coming that you could actually visualize the sacred geometry of exactly the mantra you just did.
Amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's interesting because when I do universal love, I mean I can bring it in through my thymus. I had to practice for like 5 years before I could do it. My sound's a little funny, but we'll see if it works. I get it there, or I can do. There we go. Got it there.
So you're tightening in the back and creating a very specific channel. It's like, is that what you're doing?
Uh-huh.
Like creating a small opening in the back of the.
Well, it's yeah, so funny because I don't even think about what I'm doing because I'm visualizing love coming into my thymus and my heart. When I was in Egypt, after toning the resonant frequency of the rooms in a couple of the temples and the Great Pyramid for 45 minutes after toning it, the ceiling opened up and universal love poured into our hearts. And my friend says, don't talk to anybody. Let's hold it for the next couple of days. And I held my hand out here to protect that stream spiraling into my thymus, into my heart.
So beautiful.
Oh,
So
it was, oh my
beautiful.
God. Oh my God.
You can't ever be the same after something like that,
Oh my
right?
God. I'm not.
You never change. We never want you to change. Okay, but so let's feel universal for the teaching on the three vowels that create the world. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but this is the early, like I said, that Egypt was a, e, I, o, u, a, and those are the vowels that became when the Romans took over Egypt. It became the first vowels in an alphabet, and then the Grecos took it, and that became how we speak our language, right? But the original teaching of it is three vowels: a, I, and u. So a is the universal, and why every alphabet starts with the letter A. Alpha is the connection we have to universality, and then I comes up to the back of the tongue. So like I always say it like the small I, the little me over here in the big universe. So we can take it from a, and then we can concentrate it. It's not a less sound, it's a concentrated laser focused sound. So I always say it's from like ah to eh. So we get to take whatever we can open our field to bring in, and we get a power of choice of how we're going to move that out into the world. And then ooh takes the face forward, ooh, and shoots the arrow out so that it begins to create itself, right? So if we were to say universal love is aham prema or aham, there's another practice that I do, om aham, which is the Tibetan body, speech, and mind practice. And that is how we unify our head, our heart, and our gut. The body, speech, and mind. Like, how do we perfect being a human with these three brains? They practice om, ah, hum. And when they land there in the heart, you could feel boom, boom, boom. You could feel all three of them. I would call that universal love, because it's just like you're feeling your entire body open and resonant. But let's just, for the sake of this conversation, just do an open ah. See if you could feel an open ah, because the tight, I'm all about. I'm all about making specific frequencies of waveform, but I want you to feel the expanse of a big open sound and like connecting in. And then when you have that space to bring that into a smaller waveform pattern, the potency of it will be that much, it'll be just that much more energetic that you're delivering, right? So let's just try to get to A. So if we go back to what we did before, we breathe all the way down and we expand the low body, and you get the root under you and the waist nice and strong and your belly's out, like you're supported and you're extended. It's not just like, oh, it's I'm here, right? Okay. Now the tongue has to stay dropped. So I'm going to have you put your finger on and without gagging, so go as far back as you can without creating a tightening of the throat. Maybe even do a little bit of a yawn where you might drop it open. A little breathe in. So to create a big, deep, open container, we're going to do this one more time. Remember what we did with the lam? We got it rooted in. So make sure you can feel your root dropping into the ground. This is what connects you to Shakti. This is what creates the electromagnetic circuit and the vagus nerve's ability to relax and open, right? So we need the root under us, not up. And a lot of us have been trained to pull up, away, and hold. But we have to actually drop in and root, right? Okay, so you want to make sure we feel that. If we breathe in again, and we drop that root in, finger on tongue. Now one more time, put your hand on your heart. Root. Now this time, not on tongue, both hands on heart. Let's do two more. If we keep the diaphragm under us and we feel that space in the heart, I know I'm trained at this for a long period of time, but you can really feel all your energy just centralized at your chi. Can you feel that? Yeah. That's neutral. So for me, neutral is prima nocturna. It's like, for me, neutral is your prima materia. It's like this is universal love. Oh, everything is universal love. We are universal love. So to be able to find our place back, the heart chakra comes with a truth that says, love is the frequency that heals all things. And it's not talking about an emotional, relational love. It's talking about universal love, exactly what you just called on. And it's what our chi brain functions off of. So when we actually create frequency from this part of our being instead of our heads or our throats, and we're not stuck, but instead we're actually aligned and open, and sound is moving through the chest, our body knows how to heal itself.
We're almost out of time, but I have one other thing I want to share and talk about, and then we can come back to this because it's almost a little too much after doing the universal love because I'm kind of blissed out now. But it seems really important for me to bring this up. One thing that I teach is, especially when working with the third chakra, is to do full power. And this is a little exercise and I have a feeling you'll be able to help me refine it. Okay. So what I say is imagine you have a tiger attacking you.
Exactly.
Right. And you have the power with your voice to stop it in its tracks. You're not going to hurt the kitty. You're just setting boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
which we have to do
I
a
love
lot.
it.
Right. And so on three, which is always four, right?
Okay, you got it. Very true.
Okay. I'm going to do a really loud no. Okay. Let
You
me do
are?
it. Yeah, I'm going to do it and then we can
Okay.
do it together. Okay.
Okay.
And warning, warning, everybody. I'm going to get really loud. Warning. Okay. One, two, three. No.
Wow.
That is so good when
Oh,
you're not
yes.
feeling good enough or insecure in any way. It's full power of you.
100%.
Ready?
That was incredible. That reminds me of I had a relationship that was very toxic a many number of years ago. This man was jealous and controlling and all of these things. And I let it go on for a little too long. But at one point, he crossed a line that I was like, and exactly. I went, "You want me to do it?"
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it together. Oh, no, you do
Okay.
it. Okay, go for it.
No, we can do it. I won't be able to do it
No.
nearly as much as I did it for this man. But I'll finish the story before we do it. Literally, though, time stopped. Dogs were barking 3 blocks down, and I felt like a Power Ranger. I felt like, when they were like, "Bah!" Like
Right,
something happened. His
right.
eyes, he was like,
Oh, I had this woman who had throat cancer, and I said, "Okay, one, two, three," and she goes, no." And I'm like,
exactly.
and after about a year, I got her to be able to do it full power, and her cancer went away. Yeah,
Yes!
yeah, yeah,
Yes, that is amazing.
yeah.
It's so simple. All right, do you
Okay,
want to do it
right.
together?
Yeah, let's do it together.
All right, I'm
Okay,
going to try here.
okay. One, two, three.
No!
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, we should be teaching the kids, do this in the bathroom,
And
right?
I also want to say to everybody on the phone, you know what feels a million times better? Yes! Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
That feels so good
I
too.
love that.
To
I
like
love
come
that.
through the heart with that, right?
I love that.
Yes! Instead of,
Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah, maybe, right? It's like, yes! That feels just as good.
Excellent. Okay, I got one that we can end with.
Okay.
Let's do the sound of joy.
Oh. Okay.
Everybody can join in with this as well. Joy comes from babies, kids, nature, group experiences, and love.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody join in. Okay.
Yeah.
boo, boo.
Joy. Ah, God forbid we all felt a little more of that, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's your homework. Feel joy more.
Exactly.
Right,
Everyone,
right,
every
right,
day,
right, right.
joy.
Well, what a pleasure. This is
Hmm.
fun.
So nice to talk with you,
Yeah,
really. What a great
yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah. I appreciate all of your experience and expertise that you bring to it as well.
Thank you. As well. Me too.
Cool, cool.
Definitely.
One thing I think I tell people is with the kids, what we do is, we get everybody to make the sound of how they're feeling. And I do that at the beginning of every class. So by the time we've done it 30 times, people get it down. But with the kids and even the dementia patients we work with, they're still scared to make sounds. So what I do is I do call and response and they
Mhm.
get them comfortable making sound. I had this dementia patient. Oh my God, you'll love this. He was like this last month, totally catatonic, right? And we had already got him comfortable making sound. I'm like, can you do the sound of how you feel? And he goes, ah. He looks up at me and smiles and goes back
Mhm.
down. Perfect.
It's incredible. I have stories with that as with dementia as well, where I used to sing in homes for people with dementia. And when you sing songs that are in the time period where they're alive, when they were younger, they come out. And I've had many catatonic people come out and family members be like, what? Like, he hasn't spoken in ages. Like, what? And it's really this part of the body that remembers and understands.
Right.
Like, music and sound is
Yeah.
undeniable. And this is the whole thing. It's like when we look at our whole life, what's the sound around you? How much science do we need to know that the sound of bird songs and the wind in trees is really great for your heart, and the sound of skyscraper, like whatever, horns and sirens and all that is like not good for our the systems. Everything is sound, everything. And it's we don't really honor it for as it is, and make choices with our life about how we're going to use it and what we're going to allow to take in and to share and all of those things. It's such an important piece of everything, of life, and of everything that we are. So to know that we were given a tool, an instrument in the body, didn't need to learn a thing, just needed to breathe, feel, and let the consciousness express however it wanted to. And if we could have just been kept there, left alone, we'd all be amazing right now. And instead, this one choice of, I'm going to call it societal normality, and a need to be safe in that is really playing its toll on our health as a human race.
Right. Right.
It's incredible to me. It's such a simple doorway into healing. Sound.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So today's show is on universal love, which I see as Christ consciousness. Universal love is an idea of an all-inclusive, unconditional love that extends to all beings and all of existence, not just to individuals we like, know, or feel attached to. It's really completely unconditional. There is unconditional love that's not universal. I mean, we can have unconditional love for each other and for our babies and for our animals. But universal love is a whole other ballgame. It is unconditional, but it's different than unconditional love. So universal love has no conditions. It isn't based on any personal gain. It's not based on emotional attachment, agreement, or similarity. It doesn't depend on how someone treats you or whether they deserve it. It's a state of acceptance and goodwill toward all of life. But it's really interesting. It's not an emotion. It's really a state of consciousness. And it's an inner orientation, a way of perceiving reality, a recognition that all beings are connected. It's really, when I experience universal love, first of all, my heart is filled to the max, and often I see like a light in the room. Right? It's really quite unbelievable when it happens. It's also a compassion rooted in unity. Now, it's interesting. When you're one with the universe, people commonly say that they experience universal love there. It's also the same when people have a near-death experience. It's like I went through the tunnel, I saw the light, and there was indescribable love there. So many people have said that, and then they often come back with that universal love, and cancer is gone. Right? So it happens when you're one with the universe, but it's different than being one with the universe. If you look at it from the way Alice Bailey talks about it in her books from 1930s, oneness is where you are all, and I think of that as all frequencies. And there's different rays or energies that come from Source, which are universal love. There's also being in your power. There's power. There's also creativity. There's a full range of different energies, and universal love is only one of those energies of Source, where Source is all, and that's where you're one with the universe. But again, when you're one with the universe, it's like there's universal love there. It's almost like we're part of this greater being. Call him God, right? And when we tune into him, that greater being is always running love. So it's just a matter of tuning into all and then tuning into it. So it's interesting. I think of Source as all frequencies, whereas universal love is more like one frequency or an actual timbre. A lot of people think of love as 528, although Leonard Horowitz now says that there's no proof behind that. So a lot of people have resorted to 432. When I was in Egypt, I actually, when we were toning the chambers of the different temples and pyramids, and the ceiling opened up and love poured into our hearts. And that was serious universal love. It just about knocked you over. And I heard it as around 200 hertz. But I think everybody hears it as a different frequency. Maybe there's a cosmic frequency of universal love out there, and I would think it's a super high frequency, but often people get different notes and frequencies based on what comes to them. So, but I thought it could also be a sound instead of a frequency. Because since you can bring universal love in or add universal love to different frequencies, I can do universal love with a low note, or a high note, maybe it has nothing to do with the frequency. Maybe it's a combination of frequencies. A lot of people say that our whole solar system, and in fact our whole galaxy and universe, is the energy of universal love. So if you look at our solar system, you can think of each planet as a frequency. So we've got like all these different frequencies that add up to a tonality or sound. So maybe it's a combination of musical intervals within different frequencies that create a timbre. Maybe it's a flow. Maybe it's a song. Right? It could be all different levels of vibration, which are frequency, timbre, and musical flow. It's interesting to look at what actual melodies bring out universal love more than others. Also, and what tempos. When I did my song that I'll play for you in a little bit, I actually meditated on the energy of universal love, and then noticed the tempo of my breath while I was there. And then I set the recording to actually be that tempo, and I would breathe in and play one chord, and then while holding universal love, and breathed out and played another chord for the out breath. And so that tempo was what I felt for universal love. I'm not saying that's the tempo for everybody. In fact, I would probably guess that it's different for each person, just as the note is different. In different spiritual traditions, universal love has different names. In the Greek tradition, it's called agape, and that's selfless divine love. In Buddhism, it's called metta, which is loving kindness for all beings. In Hinduism, it's called bhakti, or prema, and that's devotion and divine love. In Christian mysticism, it's called Christ consciousness, and that's loving all as oneself. Many describe it as the natural state of the soul when fear dissolves. Universal love. Oh my God. It's really, I've asked people for 15 years, how many have experienced universal love? And maybe 50%, normally only 30% of the people raise their hand. Most people don't even know what it is. And then I said, okay, how many of you can access it at will? And it went down to less than 25%. And it's really interesting when I ask people, how do you access it? Most people say, oh, I just tap into it. But if you've never experienced it, how are you going to tap into it, right? So the whole trick is to be able to teach those other 70% how to actually access it for people that have never experienced it. It often happens from different situations. You can actually go to universal love through romantic love. Really, it's somewhat similar. In fact, I think it's actually the core essence of love in relationships is actually universal love. So it's like when you're in love, it's like you love everybody. And there's nothing that could upset you. You could have people actually even do something bad and you still love them. There's this bubble of light around you when you're in love. And it's the same with universal love. In fact, in universal love, all compassion is built in because you are loving everybody no matter what. And you don't even have to have a reason. Often people have to have a reason for compassion. And, I do it where I think, oh, they don't, they're just entrained into the craziness of our society for tens of thousands of years. Whereas really, if you're in universal love, you just love them anyway. Let's do it by accessing love from a relationship. You might have to peel away the person, right? But tune in to a time when you are completely in love. No stories, just go straight to that feeling and energy of being completely in love. Feel it completely. This love, the essence of it, is the same as universal love. Now, if it had a sound, find a sound that matches this universal love from your relationship and make it out loud. The beauty of this is we just proved that you can access love without a person, right? Completely. The core essence of universal love. The great thing about universal love is it gets rid of all neediness in relationships. You no longer need anybody's love when you've got way more love that's infinite and will never go away. So it's so important to learn how to run it. Right? It's also sacred places can do it. Like I said, Egypt, when we were toning the resonant frequency of the chamber, it took about 45 minutes. The ceiling opened up and poured into my heart. It was like spiraling in, and I held my hand out to protect it as it came into my heart. And my friend there, she said, "Don't talk to anybody, and let's see how long we can hold it." And we were able to hold it for about a day and a half. And it happened 3 times when in different chambers there. So often sacred places can do it. People often say when they're in nature, it just opens up, especially with beautiful views. It can even be a trauma. It could be an accident that actually opens up. There's so many stories I've seen on video where they said, "Oh yeah, this unconditional, incredible love. I was just filled with love in the middle of this accident." Right? Sometimes it's accompanied by angels or apparitions. Sometimes it happens for no reason at all. It's just bing, bing, right? The way I see it is there's 2 ways it seems to come in for me. One is years ago, this psychic said universal love comes in through the thymus down into the heart. And I started visualizing love coming in through my thymus down into the heart. It only took about 5 years until finally I started getting little bits of love. And then after a while, I was able to just run it. I was just able to run that energy like this. And then when you add sound, it makes it even easier. Coming into my thymus. Try that. Visualize it coming into your thymus. The trick is fake it till you make it. Visualize it over and over and over until you actually get it. That's what I did, and hopefully it won't take so long. Right? And then you can run love. The whole deal is to learn how to run energies just by thinking it, or as my friend said, say it and it happens. Think it and it happens. Bring in universal love now. And it happens, right? The second way that it happens commonly, I think this is probably even more common for a lot of people, it's like this energy from source comes in the crown from above and comes in and opens up the pituitary and especially the pineal gland. I think universal love is actually the pineal gland often just vibrating to source. So the pineal, and I get chills in my whole head. Pineal gland's right in the middle, and it is our connection to source. And so it comes in, I get chills there, but it goes all the way down my spine, sometimes all the way out my feet, sometimes out my heart. So it's like this energy from source that is just so beautiful. The Tom Kenyon and the Hathors, they say to imagine this love in your heart and then imagine it getting bigger and bigger and expanding more and more. That's really cool. So I want to play an actual recording of my song Unconditional Love. That's the one where I held the energy or meditated on the energy of universal love and then played to the tempo of my breath. So I was able to stay in that universal love the entire song. It's also a video though, and it shows a lot of different beings doing universal love. I mean, the first universal love we commonly have is for babies, right? No matter what. It's like if they poop on you, who cares? We'll love them anyway, right? There's also universal love for animals. And then there's beings that are resonating universal love all the time. Christ energy, that's the whole deal. Christ energy is the universal love. Or the Dalai Lama, right? He's resonating compassion, which is the essence of love. There's all these different beings. So I got different beings in the video, and then I got different graphics for resonating universal love as well. But again, this is my song, Unconditional Love. So set your intention to open your heart to universal love now while watching and listening. we're now looking at measuring with EEG the map of the frequencies of the different lobes when people are running universal love, for the people that can do it. And then we can take that map, which is a relationship of different rhythms, and apply it to you with electrodes. So if you've never accessed universal love, we can simply do that. We can simply get you in that state by resonating that brainwave compilation to get you into universal love. One of my favorite songs for universal love is by Sanatam Kawar, and it's about universal love. It's called The Heart of the Universe. And the lyrics are a little hard to hear, so let me explain. There is a place in and around us where angels sing on rays of light, and love pours forth from the heart of the universe. And then the string section takes off, and that is the love, right? So again, set your intention to access this universal love that she's talking about, and running that love in this song, The Heart of the Universe.
There is a space that exists with us and around us, where angels sing on rays of light. Rays of light, and love pours forth, love pours forth, love pours forth from the heart of the universe. There is a space that exists with us and around us, where angels sing on rays of light. Love pours forth, love pours forth, love pours forth from the heart of the universe. There is a space that exists with us and around us, where angels sing on of space that exists with us and around us. Where angels sing on rays of light, on rays of light, and love was fun, love was fun, love was fun from the heart of the universe. 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 From the heart of the universe.
Here's a recording of 30 people toning the energy of universal love. Tone along. Bring that love into your heart and tone along. Commonly, people sit with people that can run universal love in satsang to be able to absorb it and feel it and take it in. There's so many beings, so many people that are really good at running that universal love. May all of us be able to run universal love all the time, sooner than later. Hold that energy for at least the rest of the day and evening, for the week ahead, and lifetimes. Thanks for listening.